Welcome. My name is Carrie, and I am going to lead you through a slow flow so that you can let go and go with the flow. And we're going to be leading with our heart today. So grab your mat, get into something comfy, and we'll begin. So, sitting comfortably, whatever that looks like for you today, getting your spine nice and long, maybe taking your shoulders up to your ears and just letting them roll down your back. So we're going to lead with our heart today. So taking your left hand and then your right hand over your heart center, just so you can connect with that part of you. I think we need a little bit more heart in the world right now. So close your eyes. And our intention for this practice is to lead with our heart. And our heart starts in our home, in our bodies. So, listening to yourself, listening to your body, and only doing what feels right for you in each moment. And we'll start by just taking 3 full breaths in through our nose, breathing all the way down into our stomach, into our rib cage, and maybe holding it. And then as you exhale, exhaling out through your mouth. And then we'll inhale again all the way down into our stomach. Maybe holding that. And then exhale through your mouth. And once more, taking a breath all the way down through your heart, your rib cage, and into your stomach. Holding and then exhaling any negativity, letting it go, creating space for that love within. We'll take our fingertips to the floor now. Let's do a little flow here. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, letting those hands float back down. Breathing in and out through your nose. Inhale. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale, letting those fingers just touch the mat. Let's reach that left arm up, coming over to your right. Taking a breath or two into that side body, maybe getting your elbow up a little bit higher towards the ceiling. Creating some space for your lungs. Breathing some love in there. And then we'll come back to center. Let's take the right arm, reaching it up and over to your left. Again, keeping your right sits bones onto the mat, right elbow coming up. Breathing into that side body. And then coming back to center, we're going to flow back and forth. So left arm up, and then exhale it down. Right arm up, and exhale it down, just like a piece of seaweed floating back and forth in the ocean. Nice and gentle. Coming into beautiful rhythm here of breath and movement. Beautiful. And coming back to center wherever you're at. Good. Let's take that left hand to the right knee, right hand behind, looking over your right shoulder. Getting your spine long, taking a breath here. And then we'll sweep those arms around and coming over to the other side. Breathing all the way down, getting your spine long. And then coming back to center. Let's take those wrists, bringing the palms together and elbows up. Let's see about strengthening the wrists today. So opening up your fingers and closing them. Opening, even if they're not opening, just imagine them opening, closing, keeping the heel of your hands together, keeping those elbows parallel. It's a great way to strengthen the wrists. And then we'll shake those hands out. Let's take the hands out in front, stretching your fingers and then making some fists. Stretching them out and making fists. Again, stretching and fists. And once more, stretching those fingers out and holding your fists. We'll take and make some circles with those wrists again. Waking them up, making sure it feels okay for you. And then going in the other direction. Beautiful. And shaking those hands out, bringing your hands to your knees. We're going to do some cat-cows in a seated position today. So as you exhale, you're going to round your back. And then as you inhale, you're going to bring that heart forward, that chest expanding, head up. And exhale, sinking back down. Inhale, expanding. So just move back and forth. That spine moving. So when our spine is nice and fluid, then all other parts can stay healthy. So arms, legs, feet, hands. And then coming back to center, let's take a nice big circle. So as you come forward, you're inhaling. As you go back, you're exhaling. Just like a nice big wooden spoon. Beautiful. And then we'll go in the other direction. See how that feels. And then coming back to center. Let's come on to our hands and knees, making sure that feels okay for you. And we'll come into child's pose. So you can take your knees a little further apart, feet together, bringing your hips towards your feet and then letting yourself rest down. You can either stack your forehead onto your hands, or if you can reach and let your head rest down. So just taking a few moments here. Breathing all the way up that back body, letting your hips relax. Maybe while you're here, pondering where it is in your life where you can use a little more heart, where you can send a little bit more love out there. And then from here, let's bring our hands and our head over towards the right. So stretching out that left side body. And then coming back to center, let's go over to the other side. Taking 2 breaths into that side body. And then back to center. Let's come on to our hands and knees. Get the knees back underneath those hips and getting your wrists under your shoulders. Fingers nice and wide. Maybe creating a little bit of a space in your hands between the floor and your palm, just so that you can protect your wrists. And then we'll exhale, rounding our back, coming into our black cat. And then inhale, letting your belly sink down, head and tailbone come up. Moving with your breath back and forth, going with the flow. Beautiful. Coming back to center. We'll take the right leg, toes on the mat, stretching that leg out, and we'll just gently pump the heel. Waking up our calves today. And then from here, we'll take that leg up, toes pointing down. Let's take the leg up and down, keeping your breath flowing. And then we'll bring that knee back down. Let's do the other side. So take your left foot out, toes on the mat, gently pumping your heel. If you have any wrist issues, you can always bring your fists down, using your fists to support you. And then lifting that leg up. Let's take it up and down. Keeping that belly button pulled in. Beautiful. Let's take that knee back down. And we're going to take our right foot forward. And setting your hands up so they're just behind your heel. You want that right ankle right underneath that right knee. And then looking up towards the ceiling, stretching the front of your body. And then exhale, we're going to straighten out the right leg, bringing our nose towards that right knee. Taking a breath or two here. And then as you inhale, coming forward, looking up, we're going to flow here. So exhale, straightening the right leg. And inhale, reaching up, coming forward, bending into the right knee. Exhale, rounding your back, nose to knee. Inhale, up. Getting a nice stretch in those hamstrings. Moving with your breath. And then coming back to center, we'll take the right leg and slide it back. Let's switch sides. So left foot comes forward, setting your hands up just behind that left ankle. Bending into your knee, maybe getting your knee in your armpit, and then looking up, getting a nice stretch. Breathing down into your stomach. And then as you exhale, we'll straighten out that left leg, bringing our nose down towards your knee. Letting those hamstrings stretch out. And then we'll flow here. Inhale, bending into the knee, head coming up. Exhale, straightening your leg, nose to knee. Moving with your breath. And then coming back into our low lunge. Beautiful. Let's take the left leg back, bringing your hands back down underneath wrists under shoulders. We'll come into a downward facing dog if it feels right for you. You can curl your toes, bringing your hips up to the ceiling. We're going to eventually make our way to standing. So just taking a moment in this downward facing dog. See if you can get your heels down towards the mat, hips up towards the ceiling, head in between your arms. And then let's take a little walk to the top of the mat, folding over your hips, hanging into a rag doll, maybe grabbing hold of your elbows, using that weight in your upper body to bring you a little bit deeper into this forward fold as you sway from side to side. And then coming back to center, uncrossing your hands, we'll bend the knees nice and generous and slowly roll ourselves up to stand. Letting your shoulders roll back and down. Coming into our mountain pose. So shoulders and ears are above your hips, knees and ankles are under your hips. Closing your eyes, coming back to your heart. Breathing down through your heart to your stomach. Feeling your feet nice and solid on the mat. And let's inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the ceiling. And let's take hold of that left wrist, maybe coming over to the right. Little side stretch here. Keeping those feet on the mat. And then back to center. Let's take hold of the other side. And coming over to the left. And then we'll come back to center. Let's release the hands, letting them float back down, taking them behind our backs. You can either hold on to your elbows, or if you want, you can take hold of those fists and just bringing them down so the shoulders are squeezing together. Chest is expanding, leading with your heart today. And then as you exhale, let's fold over the hips, bringing your head towards the mat, fists towards the ceiling, or if you're holding on to your elbows, elbows up towards the ceiling. And then releasing your hands back down to the floor, coming into our forward fold. See if you can straighten those legs out a little bit more. While you're here, breathing up the back of your legs, hips coming up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, sinking down all the way to your fingers. And to protect our lower back, let's squeeze those thighs together, reaching the arms nice and big and wide, grabbing hold of all that beautiful outside sunshine energy and bringing it down into our heart. Taking a breath or two here. And then we're going to come into warrior one. So take that right leg and slide it back, making sure that your leg feels comfortable. Your foot maybe is on a 45-degree angle. And then we're going to bend into the front knee, making sure that your knee is not going too far over your ankle. So hips are facing forward, making any adjustments so that it feels right for you. Feeling those legs nice and solid on the floor. And then we'll reach the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders, gazing up in between that space. Breathing down into your stomach. Being a warrior of peace and love. And let's bend the elbows so that our biceps are parallel to the floor. Maybe opening up those arms a little bit more, making some more space in your heart center. And then we'll slowly bring the hands and the arms together, and then opening them up as you inhale. Exhale, closing. Inhale, open. And close. Expanding and shedding that light, shining the light out. And then holding your arms open, we're going to take our hands behind our backs, grabbing hold of those elbows or the forearms, and we're going to hinge forward. So bringing that left shoulder to your left knee, coming into a little humble warrior here. Keeping those legs strong. And then pushing into the left foot. We're going to bring ourselves back up. Releasing those arms, reaching them up. Palms together and back down to your heart center. Beautiful. Let's take our right leg and switch it so that it's parallel to the back of the mat. We're going to come into warrior two, stretching those arms out, bending into the front knee, relaxing the shoulders, and just gazing across the front fingertips. Gazing out into your beautiful future. We're going to do a little flow here. Let's bring the right hand to our right knee or right thigh, left arm up and over. Breathing into the front rib cage and then folding forward. Stretching that right arm and then back. Moving with your breath. Getting into the flow here. Remember to be fluid so that the body can be free. The mind can be free. Beautiful. Let's do one more. And we'll come back forward, stretching that right arm. We'll bring the hand down to the floor. We're going to take our feet parallel to each other, coming into a wide-legged forward fold, letting your head relax down, maybe shaking your head yes and no. And then maybe placing your right hand in the center of the mat, left hand on top. Let's stretch the left arm up to the ceiling and then bringing it back down. Taking the right arm up and back down. Moving with your breath again, fluid and free. Beautiful. Once more each side. And then we'll walk our hands to the back of the mat, sending the right toes forward. So we'll come into our warrior two on this side. So left arm is coming back, right arm forward, making sure that your shoulders are relaxed, gazing across your fingertips. And we'll do that little flow on this side. Left hand comes to left thigh, right arm up and over. And then folding forward, stretching, breathing and moving with your breath. Again, like that seaweed in the ocean, nice and fluid. And then coming forward, stretching that arm. Beautiful. And then coming back into warrior two. We'll bring our hands together at our heart center. We're going to take that left foot and just moving it so that we can come into warrior one on this side. So sinking into that front knee, hips facing forward. And then reach the arms up, looking up, keeping that back leg, back knee engaged. Breathing in love and peace. And then bending your elbows, opening up your heart a little bit more. And then we'll bring the elbows together and opening them up and bringing them together. Moving with your breath. Exhale and inhale. And once more, let's open those arms, holding them here. Taking your hands behind you, grabbing hold of your forearms or your elbows. Squeezing those shoulders together and coming into our humble warrior. Bringing your shoulder, your right shoulder to the right knee, head down to the mat. Legs are nice and strong. And then releasing your hands, let's bring those fingers back to the center of the mat. Feet are parallel again, letting your head hang down. And then we're going to wiggle the feet in, not all the way, just about shoulder width apart. So your heels are shoulder width apart. We're going to come into a goddess pose. So inhale, reaching all the way up, bringing the palms together, and then exhale, sinking down. Coming into this beautiful goddess pose. Knees are facing the same direction as your toes. And then we'll bring the elbows together. And again, opening up that heart center, feeling nice and strong here. Breathing, smiling. Nice. And then bring your elbows and your hands together and opening up and closing as you exhale. Once more, opening and closing. Beautiful. Let's slide the hands to our knees, leaning over. And we'll take the right shoulder down to the left knee. And then back to center. And left shoulder to your right knee. Back to center. And once more on each side. Beautiful. And then sliding your hands all the way down to the mat, maybe wiggling your feet in a little bit more and see if you can come into a little squat here. So if you need to have your hands on the floor, that's okay. Your heels can be off the mat. If you can get your heels down, see if you can bring your hands together in front of your heart. Taking a couple breaths here. Beautiful. And let's ease our way all the way down to the floor. Stretch those legs out in front of us, giving them a little wiggle. And maybe pointing your toes and flexing your feet. Beautiful. And then coming back with your legs relaxed. We're going to do a little flow here. So if your back is tender today, you can have your knees slightly bent. We're going to reach the arms up to the ceiling and exhale, folding over. And then inhale, reaching up, getting nice and long. Exhale, fold. Moving with your breath. Going with the flow. And the next time you fold over your hips, just hanging out here, taking a couple of breaths. And then we'll slowly come back up. Let's give the legs a little shake. And then we'll bring the feet together, letting those knees flutter like little butterflies. And maybe wrapping your hands around your toes. You can even take your feet out a little further apart. And then folding forward. Breathing all the way up the back spine. With each exhalation, just letting go. And then we'll come all the way back up, bringing those knees up with you, bringing your feet in towards your bum. We're going to wrap our arms around the knees. See if you can grab hold of those elbows. So our knees and our elbows are energetically connected to our heart. So this simple pose here is a great way to show your body that you care and that you love it. And kids do this naturally when they're feeling sad. So take a moment, bringing your head down, sending yourself some love. And then we'll come back up. Let's stretch our right legs out. You can keep this left leg here, or if you want, you can cross it over if that works better for you. We're going to take the right arm and hug that left knee, and then take the left arm and bring it behind us, using that left hand as a pivot point as we look over the left shoulder. So keeping your spine nice and long. Breathing down into your stomach. And with each exhalation, just opening your shoulder a little bit more. Then we'll slowly come back around. And let's switch our legs. So bringing the right leg in. You can keep it here or crossing it over. Sitting up tall, left arm around and right arm behind. And then we'll slowly unwind. And let's bring ourselves all the way down onto the floor. And when you get down there, let's bring the knees into the chest, maybe rocking from side to side. Beautiful. Let's bring our feet back down to the mat, setting your heels up so that they are underneath your knees. You might be able to graze the back of those ankles with your fingers. Arms down by your sides, spine nice and long. Connecting again with your breath. And as you exhale, let's push into the heels, lifting your hips towards the ceiling, making sure your neck has enough room, keeping those hips up, knees hip width apart. Breathing freely and easily all the way down into your belly. And maybe to get a little bit higher in this pose, a little deeper, you can wiggle your shoulders underneath, grabbing hold of your hands and just pushing into the heels, coming up a little bit more. Getting a nice back bend here. Making sure you're not holding your breath. And then releasing your hands, flattening out your shoulders. We're going to lower ourselves down nice and slowly, feeling each one of those little bones touching the mat. And feeling the beautiful support of the floor. Letting your shoulders relax a little bit more. Let's just take the knees from side to side. Maybe your palms are facing up. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. And then from here, let's let the knees come all the way down to the right, taking your arms out into a T shape or cactus shape, making any adjustments for your legs, shoulders relaxing, and looking over towards your left. Sending your breath down into your stomach. Allowing your back this opportunity to unlock, to let go. And then we'll bring the knees and the head back to center, maybe grabbing hold of each knee with your hands and circling those knees. And maybe sending them in the other direction. And then placing your feet back down onto the floor, sending your arms out. We'll do the other side, knees going down to the left, head to the right, shoulders relaxing. Full belly breaths, letting go. Just going with the flow of your breath. Then we'll bring the knees and the head back to center, bringing your knees in for a well-deserved hug today. And then sending your legs out, taking up lots of space onto the mat, palms facing up, feeling that beautiful support. Taking a nice full breath down your rib cage to your stomach, holding it and then letting it out through your mouth. We'll do that again. Inhale, nice full belly breath. Hold and exhale through your mouth. And once more, breathing in and exhale, letting go. With your eyes closed, taking this opportunity to rest and digest all of the poses. Feeling the gentle flow of your breath. Bringing your awareness to your heart center. Imagine a glowing light around your heart. Imagine that heart light shining out into the world. Feeling love and gratitude for everything around you. Imagine that heart light shining down on your feet, sending love and gratitude to your feet for all that they do. Sending that love and gratitude up your legs, all the way up to your hips, all the way up your spine. Sending that love and gratitude all the way down to the tips of your fingers. Being grateful for your hands, your wrists, your arms, for all that they do. And shining that light of love and gratitude up your neck, your throat, all the way up to your third eye, and the crown of your head. Bathing yourself in love and gratitude. Then we'll bring a full breath back into our bellies, letting it out through your mouth, beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes. And bringing your knees back into your chest, maybe wrapping your arms back around. And then just rolling to your right side for a moment, taking your time as you ease your way back up to a seated position. Beautiful. Let's bring our hands to our heart center, and we'll take a collective breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. Breathing in and out. In love and gratitude, may you take your love and shine it out into the world today. Namaste.